This episode of
Talkitecture
is brought to you by the Rode microphones. Since building our studio, we teamed up with Rode microphones because we wanted the best in microphones, and Rode offers professional broadcast quality. We have been using the Rode Procaster now for a few months, and the audio quality is amazing, and the Procaster is one of the best mics for podcasting. To get more information on the Rode Procaster and Rode's other microphones, go to Rode.com. Internets! Oh, yeah. Oh, I hope y'all are feeling good, because I am feeling real good right now. Spring has sprung. It's spring again. Everybody knows it's spring again. Internets, we are here inside the Talkitecture spaceship. As always, we are accompanied by our executive producer, Mr. A. King.
That's the boss.
How you feeling, brother?
What's good?
Oh, man, spring has sprung, brother. How you feeling?
Sprung. T-Pain.
Nice, nice.
Auto-tune.
Off that plum whiz iron.
I'm trying to find a reason to buy tulips, but for somebody. But,
You looking for love
I'm not looking for love.
in all the wrong places?
I'm scared.
Yeah, well,
It's scary season.
we might be able to help you out. This episode might be able to get you some clarity for
I'm
that.
trying to be free though.
Okay. All right, we're going to talk about that. GY, what's going on, brother?
Man, I'm off this plum wine, man, enjoying the spring, man. They gave us drinks to drink. We drunk them.
We done fucked up. We done got GY drunk again.
Man, listen.
Oh,
I'm decent.
man.
You know what, though? It's springtime, man. I'm happy. You know, it's finally that weather. We can really go outside and kick it, man. Like, I damn didn't even want to come up here, G. It's nice.
Now, let me ask you a question. Now, coming from Chicago, I mean, what is spring for you? Do you get right into shorts and short sleeves, or you still? I mean, Chicago, even in spring, y'all it's still brick.
Yeah, no, hell no. You know,
You still got a winter coat on.
my mom would affectionately refer to this weather as pneumonia weather.
Okay.
Because it can go either way. Like
Pneumonia, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you going outside, you really feeling yourself like, oh, we done had a nice warm weather day, and then that shit dip to the mid 50s, early late 40s, and you sick because you thought it was what it was gonna be yesterday, and you know, and then flipped on your dumb ass. So, yeah, you gotta be careful.
Right. Okay.
I'm gonna wait. I'm waiting. We're not really there yet for me to have the polos out. I'm still, you know, protecting.
I mean, so really, I guess Barkeys is the only guy in our spaceship that could legitimately wear shorts now. Still.
Oh yeah, no, he was getting shorts off, motherfucking.
In February.
October.
That's right. That's true. Hey, Shmigel, how you feeling, man? Good to have you back in the booth.
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad to be here.
Are you sure you glad to be here?
Yeah.
Because man, you could be a lot of places right now, man.
I
You could be
staring at a fucking wall in Queens like I was a few months ago.
dope. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're staring at us right now.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother.
Man, my allergies are acting up.
Oh shit.
I just wanted to share that.
I mean, what do you fuck with to kind of get to Clarendon? Yeah.
And Clarendon D? No. How you doing, Barker?
Clarendon.
I Clarendon, and then once in a while at night when I want to fall asleep, I'll use Benadryl, is it?
Benadryl, sure. Okay.
That usually puts me right out.
No more NyQuil. NyQuil was always good for me to put me down.
Yeah, NyQuil was good. It was. I can't do that anymore.
Okay. No more NyQuil. No more NyQuil. That's right. No more NyQuil. No more drinking. Come on.
No more drinking. Yeah, the last, it's been 6 years, like around like now, and I have a picture of my last DUI when they were pulling me over. Like I could show you. It's a dope picture. Like I took a picture through the rear view, and you see the lights.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew, and I'm glad I documented it because I was like, yeah, this is gonna be the last one. Because it took a long time to get my license back. I got locked up for a little bit, and so yeah, it's been 6 years since that day, and I'm kind of thrilled about that. But I was gonna say, yeah, I had allergies that day too when he was yelling at me. and then I was handcuffed, and I was like, yo, because my nose was running.
Gee, I need some napkins.
Yeah. He goes, we'll figure that out later.
Oh yeah.
I thought I was gonna get out of it. I thought it was gonna be like, because I got out of other situations and it was around the way. So I was like, I'm a knock around guy from around the way. I'll talk to him. Hey, how's it going, buddy? It's no.
Yeah, nah.
He had already processed you,
He was like,
man.
yeah, you gonna have to take.
Like,
You gonna have
look
to
at me
take.
as a human. He say, no, buddy.
You gonna have to take this issue to the judge. You gonna have to take this.
I got
issue
numbers
to
to
the
make
judge.
this month.
He was like, I got this overtime coming in.
Yeah, right.
Birthday
We have to
going.
process this Negro right here.
Joy Great, how you doing in this spring?
Fantabulous.
All right.
Fantabulous. I'm feeling great.
I mean, and I'm bugging that you still have not taken the time, or you still have not found a way to see Black Panther.
Gee, this is ridiculous.
So now, really, this is a boycott going on.
I'm gonna put
Joy,
it on
you
the Fire
understand
Stick
that
this
this
weekend.
Okay. You gonna catch
a
the
race trader.
I am. But my money's in the pot 3 times. My money's in the pot 3 times. I just have not sat down. I just haven't sat down. I paid the ticket 3 times.
You was just like, I'm just not dealing with this shit right now. It's too popular. It's too hidden. Fuck it. I don't want to see it.
I'm too cool for this fad.
She
See?
bought her way.
See?
She bought herself
I'm
a pass.
too cool for this fad.
You bought yourself a pass. All right, fine. We're good with that. We also are joined by our man Barker Yeezus. Barker Yeezus, man. I haven't seen you really, fully
Sober.
Yeah, no, but I mean, good to see you. How you doing, sir?
I'm super duper sober right now. I
So y'all
played
ain't blowing
tennis
me?
for like 2 hours today. I played full court ball after that, and I did a fitness class. Spring is sprung, and we got a bunch of games coming up next week, so I'm hyped about that.
That's dope. Well, I tell you what. I mean, I'm excited for the season, and tonight we brought someone in that's going to help us get through this early part of the season. She's going to help us kind of figure out and line ourselves up for later on in the year. Miss Tennesha.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Now, I'm kind of meeting you for the first time. I feel like, although we've met before, but I'm a wild burn.
I remembered you, but you forgot me.
I'm sorry about that. How could I forget you? How could I forget you? Looking like Janet Jackson and stuff. You are a dating guru, a dating coach.
Yes.
But also, I'm going to attach guru to that because of your success rate.
Because I've been doing it myself for a really long time. I've been on over like 100 dates.
Okay.
So the experience, is this the guru?
Yeah.
I'm about to say, what does this mean?
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Well, I mean, now that we keep talking about spring, we keep talking about the season. This is the time for people to start getting their dating shoes together. Your whole dating profile has got to get together now. You're going to give us some tips for those of us who are single.
I'm going to get you guys right for the fall for cuffing season. So
Okay.
we're thinking that far ahead, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But I mean, do you have tips for people who are also married?
I get people to the altar and
Asking for a friend.
I can give a couple tips on how to spice it up.
Okay. All right. Well, listen. This is going to be one of those.
You need to spice it up a bit?
Ain't that dildo?
No, I said for a friend.
Oh, okay.
Pause.
I said for a friend.
Oh, okay. Well, if your friend needs to spice it up, I could help a little.
Okay. All right. Right. So, internets, I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode of Talkitecture. Let's get right into it. Yo, what the fuck is going on right now with people bagging wild bread from their college's financial offices? Like, yo, it's just been a flood of people getting wild bread out of the financial offices of their colleges. Like, was this always the deal? Did I miss out on this lottery run?
Finesse is finessing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, GY, tell me about it. Did you bag your financial office for a few extra meal tickets or?
Actually, my meal plan got cut off. Like I wasn't finessing. I was out here I was finessing. Like, it was girls that I was cool with. Like, yo, can you swipe me? Can I get some of your free meals? Like, I was really on the struggle. Like, my struggle hat was on. Like, we wasn't, we weren't securing the bag. It was no Bernie Madoffing back then. It was some card cracking.
Okay.
I think it's just evolved. Like, it went, like, the white collar crimes have definitely evolved, and look, man, I was too shook, man. I thought, because I would always remember my mom would be like, look, nigga, if you do some dumb shit to end up in jail, I'm not getting you out. Mm-hmm. So that was always in the back of my mind, like, damn, I really don't think she's going to get me out.
Right,
so,
she wasn't going to put the house up for bail equity or nothing like that.
She wasn't about that, man.
Okay.
My Dukes she wasn't going at gunpoint, man. I just realized that, hey, I had to take out a little Stafford loan. I had to do what I had to do to get that degree or whatever. But much power to the people that's finessing, man. Just like, don't finesse your own people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's it, you know. It's like the man was off doing goofy shit with the money.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, I'm seeing other people finessing. I mean, they're finessing at Howard and Harvard University.
Hey.
You know, I mean, it's crossing all kinds of racial,
it's Ivy League finessing as well.
That's right. Okay. That's right. So I mean, I'm like, everybody's getting into it. And I'm feeling like, damn.
Is it the rap music, Dallas? Do you feel like the rappers are putting the youth culture on the finesse? Is this like, can we blame the rappers?
No, it's you know what it is? It goes back to like sports, right? Mm-hmm. Like the whole NCAA thing that going on over the last few months, where players are taking money, you know, while they have their scholarship. Like these kids are out here, you know, with this pressure on their shoulder, and they don't have no money. Like scholarship just pays for the education, but they got to live. You know, they might have a girlfriend. They got to maintain, you know, that quality of life they're living.
Right.
So they take that Nike check under the radar. You know what I mean? So it's just that it's a lot of pressure when you go to college, especially if you're living on campus.
Okay.
So when these dudes, and I'm not trying to. And you're referring to the gentleman at Howard University.
Well, him amongst others, but I mean, he kind of blew up this whole trend.
Well, he's driving a Range Rover and he's doing
and a Gucci belt.
He's doing fuck shit.
A Gucci belt, right?
Mink over wavy, going to the brunch of all brunches.
And he's like,
did y'all say he had a videographer following him?
Yeah, he has.
Nigga had a media team.
Yeah, like you can't do that and like how?
How, Sway? How, Sway?
Like, what is he telling them? His parents are rich, like.
Well, it's still pending. You know, who knows? Maybe it's more to it because it was other people involved as well. It was a whole Ponzi thing. But I mean, like I said, it's been several finessing attempts since that.
You know,
so it's crazy.
I shouldn't be saying this, but we had a finesse at Loudspeakers.
Tell a story, King.
2017.
Oh.
And it went way under the radar because it was dealt with accordingly.
Okay.
But yeah, he was mini Tyrone Hankerson.
Damn. So, I mean,
you didn't see him.
What could you finesse from Loudspeakers?
Only 4 people ever see him.
I mean, what was he able to finesse?
Yo, I'll tell you off mic.
Okay.
All right. Off pod.
Okay. Because I'm thinking to myself, I mean, what was he finessing? Like extra bevel blades?
Yeah.
Mad pairs of Ewing sneakers? I mean, what was...
I'm going to tell you, he was lit, bro.
Okay.
He was litty.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Litty lit. Like, I'm talking about like...
All right. Listen, more power to anybody out here finessing.
What's the kid's name?
Nah, I won't do that.
Tyrone what?
Hankerson.
Tyrone Hankerson.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, that kid...
He's a rapper, too.
Compared to all the marginally motivated kids that are in college today, fucking going to school because their parents are forcing them, he had a fucking goal. The motherfucker is smart.
Ty Money is his name, rapper name.
Ty Money, God bless you. Motherfucker is intelligent. He found an angle and he worked it. And he's a salesman and he's a hustler. God bless him. Half of these fucking kids that are complaining about him on Twitter are fucking assholes. They're lazy.
They didn't want the job in the financial aid office.
Exactly.
They didn't want a job, period.
Job in the
So
financial
this motherfucker, he's gonna end up somewhere. That
He's gonna be president.
He's like a 3L.
He really is. I mean, by this political administration, you would think he's on his way.
That kid is on his way.
He's on his way.
So you know how you say hackers, you know, the feds, if they you know, come across a hacker, they might give him a job.
Right.
This guy's not gonna. He doesn't want your fucking job. He's going to
gonna
own
be
a
owner.
company. Yeah, 100%.
For sure.
People like that take the initiative and find the fucking angle when no one else is looking, end up winning. He won.
Is he probably gonna go to jail though?
Howard University School of Law.
Plenty of people.
Yeah.
So
Jenkins
what?
I'll add Jenkins and Jenkins, guys.
Tyrone Hankerson, please place a call to Jenkins and Associates. 212.
We have new offices in Jenkins, Mississippi.
223-9797. Wham! Internets. All right. So this episode of Talkitecture, we have dating coach guru Tennesha Wood.
Yep. No S. People are always tempted to put an S on.
Well, I mean, I'm black. So I mean, we got to put S. We got to put plural on everything.
Jenkins Wood.
Hey, I like the riff.
He's the associate.
So I mean, tell us about the start of becoming a dating coach.
So for me personally, I've lived a lot of different places. And when I got to new cities, I wouldn't necessarily know people. So dating for me started really as a social thing where I was just like, oh, I'm new in San Francisco. I don't know a ton of people. Like, it's not always easy just to go into a group and meet new people. And so I would go out on dates, and the guys, even when it didn't work out to be like a romantic thing, they would always be like, oh, you got to go here. You got to do this. You got to meet this person. So a lot of the men I dated initially, like early on in the city here and in San Francisco, were people that really like introduced me to a ton of stuff and a ton of other people. And so I don't think that dating always has to come down to, did it work out or didn't it? Like you could get so much more from people. Like dating is just an excuse sometimes to meet people.
Did you have a type?
At one point I did, but the older I've gotten, the more I've kind of dropped the I have a type.
Well, I'll say the more mature you've gotten.
Yeah.
Because you're not old enough yet.
I'm 34.
Can I ask you a quick question?
My type is that bag. Tell him.
That's a great idea. Like when you hit a new city, dating, to get to know the city.
Right, because people love it. Men love it when you're new to a city, because then they feel like they could show you everything first, and like nothing's old to you yet.
Right.
You know, so if you meet a girl that's new to the city, like that's who you should go out with, because she will be in awe of everything you do and say. Like you'll be like, oh, so there's this, so there's this like, so there's this like, right.
Hey,
So there's this like dope
Christopher
pizza spot, you know, or and they love it.
You're right.
That's a great tactic when you look like you, though, right?
What's a good tactic? Like
the whole dating to get to know a city.
Yeah.
But like for you, it is.
I think it's a great tactic for everybody.
Yeah.
It is.
So, because of your looks, you're gonna meet high value men, right? You're gonna meet guys that know the cool restaurants and all that other stuff. I'm gonna have you just real quick consider, if you didn't look the way you did, your experience would be completely different. You probably wouldn't be sitting here.
You getting them Applebee invites? Yeah.
Let me say this. I agree with you partly, but also I think that who you are and your attitude dictates a lot of what comes to you and who comes to you.
For a guy?
Because for men and women, because I've seen beautiful women, beautiful women, and then they're like, I just can't meet anybody, I just can't get a date, and you look at them and you're like, how could you not get a date? Like, you're gorgeous.
All my action is trash.
And then you get to know them and you see what kind of baggage they're carrying emotionally and mentally, and you're just like, oh, I see. Like,
right, they're empty inside.
Yeah, so it's like the energy that you bring has a lot to do with it too.
Ooh, are you able to help people with baggage unpack those bags?
I am.
So calling yourself a dating coach, this is not fair to you.
I mean, I'm not. Let me say this. I'm not a psychologist or anything. So if you got
I didn't say call yourself a psychologist.
So deep issues from child, I would recommend somebody else. But I think as women sometimes y'all are men, but I'm going to speak from a woman's experience. Yeah, but what happens is sometimes there's like a dating PTSD, right? So I think we start to make assumptions about men even before we've been with those men or even before anything has happened, because just think about how women have been treated for all of time, right? As compared to men. And what you see happens,
including the women from the Amazon?
All of time.
Women from the Amazon were definitely high value. They were valued by men. Women from Wakanda, definitely. They were also
as real as we want Wakanda to be.
Let's not make the general statement that women have been.
Yeah, I mean, patriarchy has always existed. But the thing is, in knowing that and growing up in that, when we see it and we feel it all the time, and it doesn't have to happen to us. So I've seen women that's like, I've never even been cheated on, but like a guy does one small thing and they're like, I think he thinks he's about to cheat. And it's like, why do you feel like that if it's never actually happened to you? But it's around you so much, and you see it around you, and you hear it happening with your friends, and it's all over the media, and it's like a black man with the cops, right? You haven't had to be roughed up by a cop personally to feel a certain way when you see one, or react in a certain way when you see one, right? It's like that with women in relationships. Sometimes just there's a PTSD, the dating PTSD.
Can men have that PTSD?
I think in certain ways, yeah.
Because I feel like our executive producer, A. King, is dealing with love PTSD?
Do you have a love? What's going on, A King?
Nah, I'm scared as shit. Like I just don't. You know what? I got to a point where I figured out that peace of mind is priceless. Mm-hmm. And you alluded to something earlier when you said something about baggage. Mm-hmm. Everybody has it, right?
Right.
It's just how much baggage are you willing to tolerate from somebody? That's my thought process, right? Mm-hmm. And
carry on plus the check-in.
Yeah, it's like women want consistency, right? But then because of social media and the baggage and them comparing themselves to other women, all that shit you got to deal with. I don't want to hear none of that shit. None of it. Get your shit together.
What are you dealing with? So like what is it that they?
The thing is, I as much as I want to be transparent, unfortunately, if I start saying certain shit.
Well, how about, I mean, do you have a friend? Do you have a friend that dealt with something similar?
You can tell us about your love affair with that homegirl from the gym.
Do you have a friend that has dealt with something similar that you could speak on?
And why you
could ask for a friend.
Right. Ask for a friend, A-King.
You said scared.
No,
This nigga's scared.
I'm scared.
A movie reference,
I'm scared of not having peace of mind. By dealing with other people's shit.
Vulnerability, man, that's
just
real.
Little shit, too. I'm not talking about like, you get it your art.
So you scared of taking on someone's bags?
Yeah.
Because you're not sure what might be in them bags.
They're TD from other relationships.
Okay.
Like, I get it.
Bro, you drive a car in the city, right? I drove down here with you last week.
Yes.
You're dealing with people all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's just life. You deal with people when you get on the train. You deal with us here. That's life. You deal with people. I don't get like how like a relation. I can't deal with like what is that? It's a woman.
But if it's not someone that's worth it to you, you won't even begin to go. You won't even unpack. You won't try to even unpack. But if
that's the thing, why do you even care? You're a young dude. Move around a little bit.
Well, that's my approach.
Act like you're new to the city.
Are you single now?
Do some dating.
Okay, so you are single.
Absolutely.
So you're ready to mingle.
You're assuming he's not single.
So you don't have anybody's baggage right now that you have to unpack.
No.
She's so shy.
Okay, so you're a clean slate.
I'm walking around with my bag, my Louis, my Tyrone Hankerson.
Got that bag on me.
But don't be so worried about it that it's preventing you from moving forward into something.
No, it's not that. You know what it is too? I'm a conversationalist, but now I'm starting to like in my I have like a window, like a short window. Once I start hearing certain red flags, I'm
like what?
You get triggered. What triggers you? What triggers you? So what triggers you? Hold on for a second.
One of my issues is that I used to have is I used to attract women.
I need rent money.
Sheesh.
Please. Jingles and jingles, I need some rent money.
Will you like some prom wine?
Yeah, stupid.
Give me and my girl stay at
you
your
said
place.
You used to attract women that would do what?
They didn't have a relationship with their father. And then that became, it's always a constant.
Yo, high five.
Who cares?
I understand that, but dude, I care because now I don't bother with it.
What did that mean for you? Like what did women who didn't have a relationship with their fathers act like in a relationship with you?
They're just sloppy with they're not they don't know what they want because they're searching for it from multiple men.
Do you think that there's something about you that's attracting those types of women?
I have no clue.
You seem like you want to take care of them.
No.
You giving that off?
I don't do that.
You want to take care.
You shouldn't be dancing.
But that was a good point though about the PTSD and like so A-King, I've definitely dealt with some of that as well, and I call it pretty girl problems. Sometimes. I can't generalize all pretty women because they're definitely not all the same, but I've definitely had experiences where I've seen the same things that I had friends in my group chat say the same things. Like for example, like you said the whole thing about this PTSD where you haven't done anything wrong. But it's like, and this is where I'm empathetic of a young lady who's been through certain things because it's like, for example, before I even moved to New York, like I was liking this girl and I was seeing her and I was having a good time and she was like, look, I'm having a good time too, but you haven't even had your first New York summer yet. And I was like, oh. But then when that shit was over, I was like, damn, she was right.
I was gonna say that's a very fair point.
But here's the thing. What if that was the woman of my dreams and I really wasn't even thinking about the New York summer? She already got me thinking about New York summer. She kind of pushing me off.
But if she was really the woman of your dreams, like her mentioning the New York summer wouldn't have done nothing but make you try harder for her.
Or you would have moved on. Because
Yeah.
she's not the woman of your dreams.
Yeah.
I definitely moved on.
Your woman of your dreams doesn't tell you about a New York fucking summer.
Correct.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And bro, I have you consider there's like 4-1 here, right? Move on.
Hold on, I'm not stuck in.
Right.
I do. You know, I'm not trying to say I'm stagnant in that in that area. I'm just saying, as far as taking the next steps, I'm cool on that right now because I just don't want to deal with. And then also too the you know, if they don't understand what you're doing, when you got all these goals and ambition, and you know you're trying to execute.
Where are you meeting women's that is against
Women's.
goals?
Yes.
Women's that don't want like you got goals.
Some women say they like dudes with ambition, but they don't want him to actually spend time chasing it.
Or
But here's the thing. I think
I'm not saying that's my issue. I'm just saying I'm just
Right.
throwing that out.
Or they compete.
But I honestly don't think that's I don't think that's an issue of women not wanting a man with goals and him pursuing his goals. I actually think that's a communication issue, right? So if you're producing, right? And sometimes that's a late night, right? Sometimes that's an early morning.
I just do a lot of shit. Not just that, but it's a lot of shit.
A lot of stuff, right? But if somebody doesn't understand what all that means, it could be interpreted as something else. So if you're out working all day, but like I don't understand your schedule, and I text you and you don't text me back for 2 days, I'm going to naturally take that as some sort of slide if I don't understand.
Yeah.
Now, if I understand, like, I mean, he's a doctor in an ER. He can't be on his phone all day. Like, what I got going on right now is not a priority based on the things that he has going on in his goals. So that's really more of a matter of, I think, communication and understanding. Like, I don't think there's really any woman that's going to be like, I just want a man without goals that could just sit around and talk to me all day long and hang out with me. And
They're not going to say that. Of course they
But then every time you're out, or every time you're at an event or you're working, you're doing something, they want to go to every event with you. Like, is that like...
that means they don't have goals of their own.
Right.
And that might not be the person for you if you're a person with goals. But if somebody literally is just waiting on you hand and foot and everything you're doing they want to do, it's like, get your own life, dude. Like,
Riding your coattail.
yeah. So for somebody who has goals and is aspirational, you probably shouldn't be dating with somebody who doesn't understand that sort of lifestyle.
But how early in, like, I guess the relationship where you're into your interactions with that other person, do you feel like you should open up about all right, bro, I'm doing XYZ. I might not get back to you right away.
As soon as possible. Like, date one if possible. Like, it's important to let people know your communication style. Because honestly, it's not, people are going to take it personal until they know. Like, for me personally, like, I'm not like a quick texter. So if you text me right now, I might go home, take a nap, have some food, do some work, and then text you back when I look at my phone 4 hours later.
Can I say something? You're
Don't
also...
worry about that.
Right.
I text you, you don't hit me back, I'm ringing your bell, B.
Tennesha, I mean, you are a veteran. You're a veteran dater.
Yes.
And with that comes a level of confidence or a level of self-assuredness in how you approach a date. Now, how do you coach people who are rookies really still at communicating with other people? Because what I find, and I hate to be one of these old people that says, oh, these kids now, but people lack the ability to interact socially. One-on-one, whether if it's through text or if it's through social media, they can somehow have a discussion. But face-to-face communication seems to be difficult for everybody across the board.
And it's becoming more and more difficult for people because they have to do less and less of it. And what I always tell people is, like, I love online dating. Like, it's how I've met great friends. It's how I've met great guys. But that shouldn't be. I haven't done Christian
Black
Mingle.
Planet.
I've done Tinder. I've done OkCupid. I've done Match. I've done Bumble.
High five.
Plenty of fish, perhaps?
Plenty of Fish.
Tinder?
I did try once.
I heard that site was trash. What was your
This was
experience?
back in 2010.
Uh-oh.
So it's definitely been a while since I've tried it. But it was kind of like the Craigslist, I think, of online dating sites, where it's just a really poor interface. And
Back pages?
yeah. What?
No. I don't know what I don't know what I'm asking.
Like how much?
But long story short, I think the key is to practice it. Like, don't sit at home and just swipe all day and not actually go meet somebody and talk to them. Like, you really do have to, like, it's a muscle. Use it and practice. So, like, if you're a person that has trouble communicating, like, for my clients, I would say, go to a bar and talk to 3 people. That's your assignment. Like, have just a conversation, compliment them on something. Oh, like, what are you drinking? Oh, okay, I like margaritas. I like mezcal in my margaritas. Like, it's practicing starting a conversation.
Okay. Is it? Do you also suggest like certain places to go, locales to go, to kind of introduce themselves, like Whole Foods? I always felt like the cheese section at Whole Foods was a great place to meet. Yeah, because I mean, like you could see what kind of cheese a woman was into.
Fromage.
Yes, yes, and then kind of decide, okay, oh, she's got class, she's messing with this, Gruyere, or
right, a little Munster.
Some cheap cheese is good. Let's be clear. Some cheap cheese is good. So you can't totally determine a woman's class by her cheese.
You don't think so?
But I do think it's a good idea for men to meet people in areas in which they have expertise. So, for example, you were saying like you're really into tennis. Like,
yeah.
If I were you, I would bring a girl out on a tennis date, so you could show off like your expertise and like teach them, and you could do that cute little like, let me just show you how to serve behind you.
Backhand.
Because
for sure.
Yo, you figured me out already.
Yeah, like women like that. Like women like to like feel like a man is confident in whatever he's doing. So whether that be like, damn, he knows about every wine at this restaurant, or like, man, he knows everything about tennis. Like whatever you're comfortable in, but don't try to like step outside of your comfort zone. Like, I've never ever, played tennis before, but like, let me bring her on this tennis date to impress her. Like, don't be you. Like, do what you're into. Like, don't try
be
to
corny.
Yeah, like don't try to be something.
Don't put on. Don't put on. Are you kidding me? Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Dating, everything about dating is putting on. All right? I mean,
it doesn't have to be.
You got to be like 4 or 5 dates in to get to that real person. The first 4 dates that's the aliases.
No, I think like somehow we began to believe that there was like a dating script. Like we began to believe that on a first date, you're supposed to be like, so tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do. Like it feels like an interview. Like
right,
it starts to
that's
feel
the alias. That's the first alias.
Yeah, and it's like, if you just break through that immediately, just like, so like, tell me what your biggest fear is. Like, just throw something out there that's like a human question, like stuff we all feel. Like, don't feel like you have to follow this like sort of like robotic dating script of like, it's date one, this is what I say.
With like, let's say we're sitting down, I'd be like, what else do you have going on for yourself besides your looks?
No, I could be.
Sell yourself.
I could be.
Got a girl she on the fence like a motherfucker.
I could be totally
excuse
self-deprecating.
me.
That's my thing. Would be I tell her, listen, I don't pay my bills until they send me the colored paper. Like when they just send you that white paper, that's just a suggestion.
Bow.
But when they send you that blue or that pink,
It's
pink,
real.
then I know that they're interested in getting their money, and now I want to pay them. Is that how you pay your bills?
See, back in my old days when I had lists, I don't do lists really anymore, but when I had lists, I'd have been like, oh, he has bad credit. That's a flag.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I still got a mortgage.
That's a fucking flag. You're absolutely right. And I know I harp on this a little bit, but guys with fucking horrible credit, but I think it's important for black men especially to get with a woman that has good credit. Mm-hmm. That's important.
That's mine.
Everybody should have good resources.
I think it's important for everybody to maintain their credit. It just shouldn't be a man getting with a woman with good
I'll
credit.
throw one out for the internets too, man. Ask them about music, man. That was always a good icebreaker topic.
Yeah.
Like, some real like.
What are you listening to right now?
Like, what's going on? Like, if you have a concert in the middle of Central Park, you could curate your own show. Who would be your 5 artists that are allowed that's coming up to your show?
Oh, I like that question.
That's too many artists.
I just threw that out there for y'all, G. Y'all don't thank me. Don't thank
You
GY.
fucked up by saying 5. You should have said 3.
But then here's the thing: if they really into you, they gonna go and they go, oh, but I just love Michael.
That's
and
scripted.
They get real into. But here's the thing:
that one, that's a canned.
I have many skits, but here's the thing. But it's organic. But here's the thing:
what's organic about something that's canned?
But it don't have to be canned. You know what? Because even as a joke teller, you have certain jokes in the can.
Right.
But that don't mean you throwing out those same jokes every rip. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But that's just for people. I think people can tell when something is inauthentic. People
Right.
can tell when there's ulterior motive. Like, if you're really interested in somebody, like, I really want to know what's on your iPod. I want to see what your playlists are hidden for.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, whether it's canned or
That's
not.
a good one. The playlist, make one. Right? Before the date, make one.
No, I think that's a little.
Yes.
Somebody.
No, you know what? I just
can't
thought
make a
so-
playlist. I can't make for a playlist.
No, you know what a
want
great
5 songs.
second date is?
Talk to me.
So you find out things like this, like by not asking interview type questions, but just real, I care and I want to get to know this about you questions because these are things I care about. Like if you really care about music. So a good date too then would be, you know, whatever, let's say you guys are doing a picnic. Whatever she said she likes to listen to, you got a playlist for that. If she had mentioned on that first date, like, oh man, I love, I don't know, Thai noodles more than anything, you bring some Thai noodles like that. That's what women like, to feel like, man, he actually just like listened to everything I said
Who's
and
taking you
delivered on
a
it.
picnic? Like
I've been on picnic dates.
really?
Yes, I have been on several picnic
Girls
dates.
respecting picnic dates.
Are you from the
You've taken
perspective of
people
a
on
woman?
picnic.
Yes.
This girl, she's my best friend. Like, I don't like, honestly, like, I have a tendency to sleep with my friends, like,
Okay,
girlfriends,
okay.
But not,
I don't
not-
fuck with you,
not-
Bar Jesus.
Not her.
Okay.
Not her.
Okay.
She's
I'm not your
really,
friend.
like, she's not
So don't
crazy.
try it.
She's beautiful. She works at one of, I'm not gonna, like, drop where she works, but she works at, like, a super high-end corporate, like, office for a fashion company. And,
Ralph Lauren.
No.
Okay, yeah, no.
Lives in the city alone. She, like, I don't know, like, she's perfect, and she just can't seem to find like the right relationship.
How
She's
come
been
you don't
single-
have a?
I set her up with her last 2 boyfriends.
No, but why haven't you? I
Why
mean,
haven't I
you
dated-
described her as perfect.
She is, well, see, I'm just like not into her like that, you know.
Well, he's busy playing tennis right now.
No, I never. No, I'm serious. Like, I sometimes, like, you know, I'm friends with a girl and I'm like, damn, I really, like, you know, I want it to be more than that.
Right.
And then sometimes it turns out to be, and sometimes it doesn't, you know. But with her, I'm just like, I don't feel like that, like, sexual attraction. Like, I'm like, I see her, like, when she does her makeup, I'm like, oh my god damn, you look fucking dope. Like, you look sexy as fuck. But I'm not like, yo, I want to fuck that shit out of her. Like, you know, that's not my reaction. You know, I'm just
savage.
like,
Do most men see her in that way?
I mean, like, all my friends are like, wow, she's beautiful.
She's
like,
hot.
One of my neighbor and, like, my guy friend, like, dated her for a long time, and, you know, things just didn't work out, but they're still friends. And, like,
Why did he say it didn't work out?
well, it was just a mutual thing, you know. It just was a mutual thing. They dated for a few years, and then she dated my other friend after that. I set them up together.
What did he say was wrong? The second friend.
Well, she just found him to be a little bit boring after a while, but
Got it.
you know, the
I love the fact that
running through homies.
Internet understand something. Barker Yeezus is in his early 20s. So I mean, homegirl that's been dating several years. She started dating when she was 13, 14.
no.
Does she want a serious thing?
I've known her for probably.
But does she want a serious thing?
Yeah, of course she wants a serious thing. She's settled down. She's in the groove. She's, like, you know, doing her thing professionally, and she's just like, yo, I want a guy with, like, how do I put this? With the same clout as me.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think she's stuck on anything? Like, I mean, I need him to be like 6 foot. I need, like, is there anything outside of how she wants to be treated and the type of guy it is that she's looking for? Does that make sense?
She definitely
Is
has
it-
some fucking expectations. You know, like, in terms of, like, what is he bringing to the table? Is he gonna take me to do dope shit in a city that I know really well? Like, this is what I like. I like to go out at least once every 2 weeks, and I like to have a fun time. Are his friends, like, normal human beings? You know, like, do they do fun shit too? That's probably that's definitely on her mind. Yeah, you know, she has expectations. She you know, doesn't expect him to be making, like, wild money or, like, anything like that. She's not like that type, but she's like, I want him to be, like, kind of just, like, living life the way I would.
So I think for her, I don't know what sort of internal baggage she may be carrying around, but let's say she's not, for the purpose of this discussion. We don't meet people that are exactly as we want them to be. You know what I mean? So you don't meet somebody, it's like, wow, they happen to have everything I want and act in every way that I want. So this is, again, why communication is important. So she might meet a guy and she's like, wow, he has, like, 4 out of the 6 things I really want. Well, the other 2 things you need to have a conversation. Like, hey, it's really important to me that, you know, every couple weeks we go out and do X, Y, and Z. Like, is that something that's important to you, or is that something you want to do or can do, and have a discussion around it? But like, you know,
so I mean,
you can't just meet somebody and be like, they don't have those last 2 things.
You
That's it.
keep going back to the communication aspect of
That's the most important thing.
How the hell do people can't talk like that? It's too frank. You're too candid. You're too upfront.
People love that. When you just meet what people hate about dating and why they get so just like, oh, I don't want to do it. I'd rather just sit in the house and swipe and not even meet anybody. It's because there's all these like hidden messages, and you feel like you have to decode them. And like, she said this, but what does that really mean? Or he did this, but what does that really mean? And if you really say to somebody straight up, I tell this to men, like, if you were to tell a girl, hey, I'm just looking for somebody to sleep with, she's gonna respect you, because then she could be like, I'm down, or like, no thanks, that's not for me. But she'll appreciate you not wasting her time. People appreciate realness. So if you just say like, these are the things I'm looking for, are you looking for these things? Can we work together on these things? How can we accomplish these things? Like, people will like that. It'll scare off the wrong people. It'll scare somebody that's still trying.
You're saying give people the opportunity to make a decision. I gotta agree with that. But that's what we don't do.
We're like, they don't have those 2 things, so that's it. And then people throw up their hands and they don't want to deal with it.
Are there any things that I guess for everyone they have their own internal deal breakers? I guess for certain things, because I remember telling my wife early on. I said, "Listen, baby, I'm a farter."
How long you been married?
We only been married a few years, but we've been together. We've been together since 2005.
Cassius Clay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask what made you, since you guys have been together so long, what made you finally jump in and get married?
Well, I was always ready to marry her, but her folks were like, you know, one, he pays his bills when the blue paper comes.
Got it.
And, you know, listen, when you marry someone, you
marry their farts.
And their family. And their family, too.
Right.
I mean, is that something to be prepared for when dating someone? The external forces that kind of, you know, mold and shape these people, their friends, their family. And, you know, how do you navigate that space? Is that also through communication?
Definitely. I mean, if there's a specific thing that you don't like about somebody's family, I think it's okay to communicate that. You know, I think it's okay to say, I feel like every time I'm around your mom, she's treating me like this, or she's acting like this. Is there like a reason for that? Because again, like, it could just be people assuming things that aren't really there. You know what I mean? Like, because he pays when the blue paper comes in, does that mean you have bad credit? Not necessarily, but that might be the assumption. So a lot of these things, people don't bring them up, and then assumptions always remain, and then nobody actually knows what the truth is.
You killed Mama Bird.
If I was dating somebody and his mother was treating me a certain way, and this was a consistent thing, like, I can't just let that go. And I don't think anybody should. If you're being you should never let go of being disrespected. That's number one. But number two, if you're actually trying to form an authentic bond with this person's family, you have to get these things out.
Yeah.
You know, there's tactful ways to do it. Obviously, don't go to their mom like, yo, why you always looking at me like that? Like,
I mean, the bottom line is in-laws can be the outlaw.
Right.
You know?
Right. But again, communication, talk about it.
Okay. So communication is everything.
100% everything.
So then,
because it's never about the thing; it's always about the thing behind the thing.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't it always the cover up?
Yeah,
that's greater than the crime.
Right. So it's always like, it's not the fact that your mom's looking at me. It's why is she looking at me like that? What is being said about me, or what is she thinking about me? That's what it's always something behind the thing, and you have to get to the thing behind the thing.
Do you like changing men?
What do you mean changing men?
Do you like finding a guy that doesn't know shit about dressing himself and be like, I'm going to teach this guy how to dress himself. I'm going to show him things my way. This is going to be a fun project.
That's probably one of the only things I'm okay with changing. Right? So I have friends. I don't care about fashion, like, personally. Like, I have friends that'll be like, I can't believe that dude wore that. I would not date somebody who dressed like that. I'm like, that's one trip to Macy's to change. Why is that your deal breaker? Like, I do not care. I have seen plenty of men. I'm like, ooh, he can't wear it. Okay, cool.
It always be a pretty girl who don't care.
Build a nigga workshop.
Right. But you know, that sort of stuff, like, yeah, that's an easy shift and that's an easy change. Like, but I'm not going to make that a deal breaker. But I'm also not going to be like, he just has really, I don't feel like I can trust him. Let me change that.
Right, yeah.
I walk away if that's what I feel.
He said he's just
So so you're saying that also
I'm gonna change him.
projects, taking on projects isn't good for dating.
My
No, it's
mercy's
not.
gonna knock his socks
No,
off.
your significant other shouldn't be like your therapist or your life coach or your project or your job. They should be your partner in your love. Mm-hmm. You know what? Like, who wants to work on somebody all day? Mm-hmm. Like, you got a job.
Right.
You want to come home and work and do another job?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that. Don't do that.
The 100 emoji.
Yeah.
Guru.
Internets. I've been using the Rode Procaster for 6 months now, and I'll tell you what, I've never sounded as good as I do right now. And listen, I've been podcasting for 1,000 years. You know how crappy I used to sound. Now listen to me. Glorious. To get more information on the Rode Procaster and Rode's other microphones, go to Rode.com. That's RODE.com. Take your podcast to the next level with Rode, and now back to the show.
Cool if you're dating like, super high status guys that got everything together, but like
Nobody has everything together. That's not what I'm saying.
That's knocking around and trying to put it together, and he goes on a date with you, and you're like, oh man, red flag. This guy's
A rapper.
Gotta offer me a mixtape.
But then hold on.
This guys are trying to put it together, right? They're not all the way there, and it's like they get the red flags too, and it's like, look, I'm not there yet, but I'm headed there, and I'm getting a red flag. It kind of sucks, right? So like, what does he do? Does he kind of like? Does he degrade or diminish what he's looking for the moment until he's there to be able to date someone like you? What does he do? Like, what? He has to get his shit together, right?
Doesn't it sound like that they're just in two different
Right, I was gonna say the right
scrub,
person
right?
is gonna see that in you, right? So you might meet a girl that's like, yeah, you're just not where I need you to be, and that's not the right woman for you,
right?
Because she's not where you need her to be in that mental space of like, you know what, he's trying, he's building, he's growing, let me stick it out. And that's okay.
Right.
Like when somebody walks away from you, it's always okay because that means it's not the person for you.
Thank you for saying that.
Respect the game,
a lot
internet.
of guys out there that are super needy, that are willing to change everything about themselves to get a woman, I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. I hate
They're willing to wear Chelsea boots.
A lot of Chelsea boots.
The brunch ready?
That are being worn.
What are Chelsea boots?
Those pointy boots, they come up to here with no laces on them.
And they have like a
shoe
around the ankle. They have a stretch.
Someone show her what a Chelsea
let me look up Chelsea boot. See, I told you, I'm not really into fashion like that.
What I also want to ask you is do you have a program or like a protocol that maybe has 5 to 10 points? Because when we talk about these flags, I say to myself, man, at what point does someone say, okay, there are too many flags up? Because I don't want to imagine that 1 flag or 2 flags or even 3 flags means that somebody isn't worth a second date.
Mm-hmm. I think most people are worth a second. I think everybody's worth a first date. Let me just say that. One of the things that people should do while they're dating is be very open, right? And I think almost like when I move to a new place, especially, and I just start dating, I'm like, anybody that asks me out, I'll go on a first date. I may not go on a second, but I'll definitely like see what it's about. But you were asking about flags.
Yes. Is there a point system that you developed?
No, that's so your gut, and that's so internal. Like you can't be like, well, he only has about 4 red flags. I could usually deal with 6 or 7. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. But like, be aware of what your own biases are when you're putting up flags for people.
So that's
right?
the point system then. That's a point
deal
system.
breakers.
Be aware of what your
small flags.
For example, the dating PTSD that I was talking about earlier. If the last guy I was with was a tall guy who worked in banking, let's say. The next guy I go out with happens to be a tall guy who worked in banking. And so now he does one little thing and I'm like, oh, that's a flag because the last guy, you get what I'm saying? Like we develop these biases and you have to be careful with that. But on the same token, your non-negotiables are your non-negotiables and that's okay. Like, but your non-negotiable shouldn't be something silly like, he didn't have a six pack. Like, that's just silly.
So it shouldn't be like physical attributes.
It shouldn't be physical attributes. Like, we got to be more open when it comes to that. Like, people will accept people where it's like, I mean, he was fine, even though, you know, he kind of lied to me a couple times, so it's okay. But, you know, this dude was under 5'8", and so, no, I don't let him get away with it. You know what you get what I'm saying? Like, we start to, like, value physical attributes over, like, how somebody's treating us, and that's a no-no. Don't ever do that. That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Tennesha, I got to tell you something. One of the main reasons why we brought you in here tonight to sit with us is one of our co-hosts right here, Joy the Great. We felt like we needed to start kind of a dating pool for her, you know. But I'm glad we have you though, so that.
But I'm doing everything that she said is wrong. This is all so.
What is your ideal guy?
Ideal physical?
Just
no physical.
You're doing it wrong.
So the physical. Automatic.
You can't be physical.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
Okay, you look tall sitting down, so I was like, okay, so she's probably gonna go with the like, I don't date a man under 6 foot.
She doesn't. And plus, she plays basketball.
No, I've dated non-athletes.
No, I mean, just
Yeah.
you know, you want a guy that.
Right, I just want somebody I can look eye to eye with. I don't think that's asking too much.
Okay.
I don't.
You can't put your head down a little bit.
So five.
Oh, you can't put your head down a little bit.
Would you go on a date with somebody shorter than you?
If he was rich.
No, just if he was a good guy.
How much
And you
shorter?
felt like you had things in common with him, and you connected.
I don't know.
He had a mean finger rolled up.
He's five.
If he has those
jelly.
He's
sneakers,
He's 5'8", let's say.
No, I'm 5'8". Okay.
You would do that.
Yeah,
5'8".
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
5'8".
Okay.
I could do that.
So
Because we're still kind of eye to eye. We're still. I'm not tipping my head. I'm not tipping my head.
Okay.
And
so
why can't you tip your head?
So other than
it's a personal preference. I don't want to.
other than being able to see eye to eye, what are the main things that you look for in the guys you're dating?
Ambition, goals.
Like he wants to
That's good
smash.
job.
Is that a legit goal?
No, that's
Okay. All right. Asking for a
career
friend.
goals. You know,
Like-
furthering their home lives, like just something. I don't stay stagnant, so I wouldn't want my significant other to be stagnant. Like just we can move together.
What kind of credit score?
I actually got my credit score today.
DM stop. Hey, internet, listen up. Listen up.
My credit score is pretty popping. I'm pretty popping in these streets
Over
credit wise.
7?
797, bro.
You round it up.
Damn, like, man, co-sign this building.
I was so excited. I screenshot and sent it out.
No blue and pink envelopes for you.
Do they have to like? believe
Can I
in-
give you an assignment?
Oh no.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
you can. Yes, you may.
So a lot of the things that you just said, so being able to see eye to eye, so height, good job, ambitions, goals.
Gotta wear
Those are
Tims in the summer.
Tim's and shorts.
I mean, if he's a little shorter,
Come on,
then you gotta wear
he's
Tim's.
from New York.
Just to get up
To
there.
get
So we
up.
can only date in the cold seasons.
In New York,
Now, all the things that you said are good. Like, who doesn't want those things? But I think that you should focus more on what you want the person to make you feel when you're together. So when you're really thinking about it, I'm really big on like manifestation and just
You already scared me out the box when you said we have to communicate. Like I'm like shit. I gotta tell them all this on the first date. Like I'm not open like that. Like I'm not gonna open up on the first date.
So what do you do?
I'm gonna be the dry ass. What's your favorite color? Where did you grow up?
But that's just a waste of your time and theirs. Like you don't care.
I don't. But I
you-
don't. But I figured then if I'm asking you these superficial questions, you'll just ask me these superficial questions, so we don't have to get.
Nah, but
And then we
Ain't
just
that
wasted. We just wasted 2
I
hours.
yeah,
2 hours not
That's
getting
what
to
I'm
know
saying.
each other.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that-
telling you, I just
yeah,
did everything
guys-
wrong.
You're both
Huh?
holding back.
Right.
Say that again.
I blame that on the guys.
I blame it on both of it. I blame it on everybody on the date. It's everybody's responsibility.
Right.
I'm a horrible date. I won't lie.
If a guy comes and he asks you out, right? It's kind of like your responsibility to get things going, right? As a guy, for me, it's like, all right, cool. She's not open. How do I open this up? What can I get there's something here I could get her to laugh, and then I could take that somewhere, right? Like, you gotta think, you gotta be on your feet when you take a woman out. Like, you can't expect her to just.
True, but it shouldn't be on one.
I'm with it.
But that shouldn't be on. That shouldn't be on one person. You know, like, so knowing, like, typically on a date,
I'm horrible.
I'm not a person that's gonna open up right away. So why not make it a point to say, okay, now I know that, I'm going to share one fact about myself tonight that I may not have otherwise shared.
I could do that. One.
You know what I'm saying? So, and one sometimes will open up so much. Like once you're vulnerable with somebody, like it takes so much off them, and they're like, oh, now I get to be myself, and like the whole conversation can flow from there.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That sounds good.
That's very true.
If you grab something too, like in a conversation over the phone or through text or via text, if you could grab a nugget, like if you're a guy out there, you grab something, like she said this, I'm going to highlight that and bring it. If she's not going to open up. Sometimes they just won't, right? Like, but I have this little piece of it. I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to play with this one, right? And she said something in passing, but I'm going to snatch it and fuck with you on that one until you open up, and I'll find another.
It's like a good transition.
But the deal with Joy the Great is that I feel like she's suffering from, I guess from her years playing basketball. She's got a little bit of machismo where she cannot be vulnerable. She can't.
What if you were doing an activity that you did often and were comfortable doing, like basketball? Like if you went on a date.
I think that's a horrible date, but like
she's too good.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
She was horrible.
But wouldn't it be the responsibility, like Haitian Miguel said, it's the responsibility of the dude to probe prior to the date to find out
intel.
What is she vulnerable, and if she is, I'm gonna take her out of her comfort zone and let her have fun that she probably wasn't even thinking about having. Whether it's like what's that shit they do, sipping paint or some other
this weekend.
Right.
Again, I don't think it's any one person's responsibility.
Right.
You know, it would be. It's nice.
Someone has to take the lead
it is nice
in certain instances like that.
It is nice when a guy or a girl, because you might have a guy that's just like you.
True.
The worst, just like.
Then why the fuck go out with him?
What if he's like you? Then it's like y'all are. It's gonna be hard to get through for the both of you.
He's a fucking
Miss Wood.
But why do you? Can I ask you a question? Why do you hold on so tight on a date? Like why?
I just don't want to waste my time. So I don't feel like I should be vulnerable or have to communicate my movements or me, and then 2 dates down the road be like, well, that was a fucking waste.
But not doing that is actually what's wasting the time.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially, we go out on a date, we spend an hour talking about what's your favorite color, whatever, dumb stuff, and then we just didn't get to know each other. Right. So when we didn't get to know each other, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go out on that date again. Yeah. So I'm not going to. Right. So it's just that's the waste of time. Like, it doesn't, when you truly have the opportunity to get to know somebody and they have the opportunity to get to know you, that's a real playing field. That's where you can really be like, you know what? I gave that person a shot. They seem cool, but after getting to know them, not really for me. But when you're not getting to know people, like, you're not really deciding on anything. As you're just passing strangers in the street. You're not, nothing's really getting done.
You gotta open up, Joy. Come on.
Open up.
Are you afraid of something? Like, are you afraid that, like, if you open up, like, what is there a fear there of something?
No. I'm scared I'm gonna waste my time.
No, Joy, great. There's got to be a fear there.
There's no.
Get hurt.
I think that goes hand in hand with the time part.
Yeah,
I think in her case is like
will hurt.
The minute she opens up, she's probably the fear is
right.
I lost 2 hours.
I gave you something that didn't go anywhere, so now I was like, oh well, fuck. What the fuck?
I just revealed
you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Like, this shit was whack.
Right.
But Miss Wood, is
so
that part
I don't know
about?
if it's like a legit fear or if that's like a.
Can I ask about your last relationship?
My last real relationship was probably like in my like mid-20s, and it was
last year.
And it had gotten to the point where it had gotten really real. Like, the relationship was to the point where it was just like, all right, and I got scared and I backed out.
How long were you guys together?
2 years, almost 2 years.
So what do you mean when you say it got really real?
It got like really real where, like,
abortion?
Like, no.
Okay. That's pretty real.
You get really real. But it starts getting to the point where you're just talking about like the future and like
settling, like whatever,
settling type down. And like I felt like I was young and it was just like it was too much. It got heavy and I bailed.
So you essentially at that point in life, like you didn't want something extra serious,
right?
Are you at the place where you do now?
No.
Okay, so you're just looking to
still
date.
A player. Still a player.
But yeah, that's why I can't say.
Too.
But that's why I can't say like it's a fear. It's a legit fear. I just don't know. Well, I don't know if like I'm scared or if I'm just not ready. Like I'm a horrible dater. Like everything all your red flags, all your no's. I'm like, well, fuck it. No, shit.
So wait, at this point, do you want something serious or do you just want to like date and get to know people?
I think I'm just dating. I don't really think I want to get to know people either. I don't think I want to spend that energy.
Damn.
Same, see?
This is fucking me up in here.
This is crazy.
Okay, so if you
It's crazy.
Y'all think y'all slick bring her in for me? Like I know I'm a fuck up. Like
No, not at all.
so
not at all.
what's
We're
the
gonna
point
work
of
this out,
even
Jordan.
dating right now if you don't even want to get to know people on that level?
to spend time. I guess like to get out. Like you like
So
you just want.
so
you do
essentially
wanna go
like
out.
friends.
Yeah. You do wanna
Okay,
go out.
so you don't want to go. You don't want to date right now. You're just looking for friends, and if something happens to come
There you
along
go.
and
Waste
come
this
out
time,
of that,
2018.
it does.
Like, yeah, if something magical
How are
happens,
you gonna make
on
friends
that
with someone
date-
where you won't open up?
But that brings back to what I started with initially, where I was saying that when I would first move somewhere, because I didn't know a ton of people, I'd be like, well, okay, like this guy seems cool. Like he may not be the guy for me, but like we just went to this like dope restaurant I would have not otherwise went to, and he's just like a cool person who knows X, Y, and Z. So like,
How weird is it to go back to that restaurant though without dude and then
Not at all. That's a restaurant with food and people.
And then when you're hanging out with one of his friends that you met at the restaurant that night that y'all were kicking it, like none of that ever gets weird.
No.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
dope.
It's not weird unless you make it weird.
What if he did that on the flip side? And he
Tennesha
didn't
is
take
hard
you?
body.
He didn't take you. He took another young lady. Would you feel weird if you saw that on IG? Like, dang, we was over here.
I showed him that place.
I'm the type that'll seriously text somebody that I have dated previously and then say, hey, you remember that restaurant we went to and it was so good and I had the blah, blah, blah. I'm here now.
Yeah,
Not with you.
You would not
with
get a
you.
response.
You don't need anyone to validate who you are. You know who the fuck you are. That's why you're chilling. You're not worried about you are unhurtable. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm hurtable. Everybody's hurtable.
Well, I mean,
I've been
everybody's
hurt.
hurt.
I've been hurt.
You're not gonna be hurt over some little bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
silly shit to get hurt.
You're
at
not
a
soft.
restaurant.
Like,
Yeah, it's
okay, so what I'm getting from your conversation is that you should just be kind of like, you know, open and more transparent than
Right.
people tend to be on dates. My homegirl Hannah went on this podcast. I'm gonna give him a shout out.
Go ahead.
He said what? And my homegirl Hannah.
He said what?
Like, yeah, that's the name. That's the name of the thing.
Yes.
I don't know. And she went on for 20 minutes, and she was just like talking about like her sex life, which is like confusing. And
she was talking about her sex life on this first date.
no,
On the
on this
podcast.
Oh,
podcast.
okay.
And she said that on first dates, she's just like straight up like, you know, I don't want to waste my time like having bad sex with this guy. I'm just gonna straight up like try to figure out like what like his like sexual desires are, like what he's into. He likes, you know, fucking choking me out and shit. Like, tell me that so I know like what you're into. And I'm down for that. Some things I'm not down for, and then we won't waste our time. But I want to know what gives him like sexual gratification, so we have bomb sex. You know?
Now she can't be mad at all if later that night, dude is like, so you going back to my place or am I coming back to yours?
Well, I mean, if the vibe is going that way, like, you know, she's probably like she's with it. You know what I'm saying? Like if he like fits her, you know,
Like people that are with the shits.
conception.
She's with
for
the
what,
dicks.
Like she wants to like, you know, she's like attracting. But she was also telling me like, yo, she like fucks girls too, and like she does that whole.
She's
thing.
with the clits.
Yo, Marcus throwing all the alleys to Dallas right now.
So do you think that's a little much? Like, do you think she's putting herself in like way too vulnerable of a position? And don't answer it like in terms of like what you would do.
Okay, I won't because I definitely wouldn't do that. But
No, we won't.
I think it's whatever her expectation is. So if at the end of the night, like you're okay with going down that road and you're not looking for anything serious or to like build, like if you are like, you know, I'm like down for whatever, like we'll see what happens tonight, then that's completely fine.
DT.
Just set up your expectations for like set up real expectations though. Like don't say one thing and expect another. That would be my advice. Like don't say all that and then be like, okay, well, I'm waiting for him to call me for that second date because all he's thinking at that point is like, let's go.
Or he's thinking, I want to put your head through a wall.
Right, and she would probably be into that, on a given day.
Right.
Or she wouldn't be, because she was like, oh, I was like really into being like the submissive girl, and now I'm like really just into like fucking guys up, like, and I think she likes the fact.
So she's just kind of, it sounds like she's really on like a sexual adventure journey right now, and she's trying to figure out what it is that she really likes in that way.
Finding her like sexual like identity in this world, like, and
I think that's okay, but don't
some fun while she's doing that.
Yeah, but I think that's 100% fine. But again, her expectations just need to be on point.
Tanisha, again, we're in the season. We're in the season of figuring out. Well, we're in jump off season. Mm-hmm. So now this is the preliminaries. These are the tryouts. These are the this is the draft period where people are picking and trying to decide. Do you have any like locations? Do you have any suggestions for people who kind of just want to get out and meet people? I mean, how long have you been in New York City?
It'll be 6 years this year.
Okay.
6 years in October.
Officially a New Yorker.
Right.
Yeah.
6 years.
I think I'm going to leave before then. Not that I mind officially being a New Yorker.
Where are you off to this?
I don't know. I feel my time coming though. Mm-hmm. I feel it.
Where are you from?
Originally Jamaica, and I grew up in Minneapolis.
You're done though.
Twin Cities.
You're done though.
Mm-hmm. I have a feeling you're going to end up in Portland.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go that route.
Where do you think?
I would go like
Paris?
Atlanta. I just want to actually I want to adult. Like I want to like buy a house.
Oh, please. Don't go to Atlanta, please.
I can't really do that.
Arizona, perhaps?
Texas.
Easy pop.
Texas.
The
Texas
Atlanta
is
dating pool.
They don't have any state income tax, so that's a possibility.
Atlanta dating pool.
fresh water too available.
Significant amount of homosexuals.
Oh, I know. I probably wouldn't move there single.
Oh.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a single move for me.
What do they call that? And then I think that they started
the down low. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. That's like a big thing there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Keep it on the down low. Nobody has
you were
to
saying
know.
about.
I'm saying that you're a New Yorker, so maybe you could give us some suggestions. You can give the listener some suggestions on places that they want to go this spring, this summer, to put themselves to jump inside the dating pool.
Okay. Nowhere specific. It's not where you want to go, but it's what you want to do while you're anywhere, right?
Okay.
So I would say the thing about New York, like people always say, I could tell you're not a New Yorker. And apparently that's because like I smile and talk to people. And then when I do that, they're like, oh, you're not from here.
Right.
But smile and talk to people, like actually have conversations with people. Like if you're out, whether that be you're out at the gym or at the grocery store or at work or on the train, like if you see somebody, if you see something, say something, right?
Shoot
So
your shot.
if you see somebody, like, don't be scared. Like you don't have to go up like, hey, you free on Tuesday for a date? I'm trying to take you out. Like, no, it could just be like, hey, like, how's your day going? It's like a nice day outside today, right? Like, start a conversation. Like, that's not weird. Like, only New Yorkers think that's weird.
Tanisha, I have a few icebreakers I feel like have always kind of worked for me.
Okay.
Classically, not scripts, but just nice things to say. I love to compliment women for their eyebrows.
Mm-hmm. Eyebrows are the most important thing on the face.
Okay. More than eyelashes, because I actually got off of eyebrows onto eyelashes.
Yeah.
Is eyelashes creepy? Be honest.
How would you say it? Like, give me an example.
Well, I would say, oh, snap. Oh, man. Your eyelashes are like, I feel like you were just waving at me right now when you blinked.
Ew.
That's what you told me.
I actually would find it kind of odd if a man noticed my eyelashes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call the cops.
Yeah.
All right, because I mean, I did eyebrows for so long.
You just wanted something new.
I had to. I mean, I had given it to the world, so all my little duns was using it.
But how about making it specifically to something that you actually do find like noticeable on that woman?
Well, I mean,
not every woman has noticeable eyebrows or eyelashes.
Now that I've gotten older, you know what I like about women?
Feet.
I like hair on their chin. Like I got a woman with a little bit of hair on her chin.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
there's
little bit of mustache, a little bit of mustache.
There's a stubborn one I have to pluck
She
out
probably
every
got
other
that at
week.
work if she got a little hair,
It's been
bro.
plucked now, so we're good.
Yeah. But I always felt like the eyebrow compliment or an eye compliment was just a fantastic icebreaker. Again, you say it and then you keep it moving. You know,
But whatever it is, Dallas, I think you should be genuine in it. Like, not everybody has.
The people listening to this, I'm married. I'm good.
Okay, for a friend.
Yes.
Well, for anybody out there, like, it should be genuine and it should be specific to that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
You got to test.
not everybody
those things
has
out.
nice eyes
Yeah,
and
you
not
gotta
everybody
play
has
around
nice
with it.
eyebrows. Like, but there is something you can like about everybody.
Eyebrows
Like-
are a good start for these socially awkward idiots that are listening to.
What if
this
she
right
knows
now.
she got messed up eyebrows? Now you lying.
Yeah, you are gonna lie. You're gonna lie in the beginning when you go outside and you're walking around. Stick to the eyebrows, right, for a little while. After you're comfortable, look for something else. You fucking weirdo. Find something else. Be real about it. But you have to start somewhere. Dallas is 100% right. All his duns, a lot of them are socially awkward dudes that are living in their mother's house. Start with that. Start with the eyebrows. Then start.
Damn.
Build your confidence and walk and find something else about a woman that you
Haitian
like.
Miguel give
Women
you
like accessories as well.
Start with the booty.
No, don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
do that.
you.
Who said that?
I just said.
Start with the
No,
booty?
G, I did not
start
say
with
that.
the booty.
Hell to the
Internet,
no,
they
no,
sending you
no.
off, G.
A
Don't
lot of
even
them
do that.
on Twitter when they'll start with no.
Everybody says that.
No woman hears that and is like,
Now,
wow, he gets me.
know-
That's the guy. That's the guy.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what
no
I
one-
do? On,
He noticed my butt.
Right.
Oh my god.
social
No one
media?
ever notices it.
Yep.
On social media, I do it all the time, and it works.
What?
Like if a girl is showing whatever,
Nice picture
it's easy,
frame.
It's easy for dudes to just jump out. You're gonna see that 9 times out of 10, somebody's gonna say something stupid, right?
Right.
It's obvious. If she's showing a little cleavage, she might be feeling herself. That's all right. So I'll jump in the comments, and I'm like, man, nice purse or nice wall decor.
Right.
And they know that I'm, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't have to be obvious with it.
Right.
It's
Right.
there. You're showing the world what it is. But as a dude, you don't got to be thirsty either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You expose yourself.
So that's
Make it-
that's
make
one of
her
the great
laugh.
that's one of the great pointers. Then I guess
You make her laugh.
But here-
You
is
know?
for guys to get rid of their thirst. For guys to not obey their thirst.
That
I
takes
think-
practice.
I think we got to go back to like
Discipline.
straight authenticity, right? So if a person is socially awkward, that just might be who they are. I'm not going to tell everybody to change who they are. Like some people are just like quiet, some people are introverted, and that's okay. But like those people and everybody has something that they're deeply interested in,
Right.
has something that they really like to do, and like you have to be open about that so that you can attract those sorts of people. So like, yeah, I might like be very introverted and I might like to be in the house all day playing video games, but I'm like on top of the video game rankings and it's like a whole thing for me, like, and it's really what I'm interested in and I'm trying to build an empire. Whatever it is that you're doing, like there is some I watched a show today and that was the dude was like, he was like a video game genius and I was like,
what game are you
and
on?
I don't, but that was his whole thing. I mean, but long story short, for whatever it is that you're into, there is a person that is out there that is into the same things and will find it just as interestingly. If I went on a date and somebody just started telling me about how many levels they went to on a video game, I'm like, this is dumb, whatever. But there is somebody that's like, oh my God, did you beat the da-da-da, da-da-da-da?
That's a good point.
But that's why you have to be open about like who you really are. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be on like, yeah, my favorite color is red. Like that's not somebody getting to know you. And like you could have something like that they would just love and that y'all could really vibe on. And it could be like, dang, did you get to blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, it's just like, we just spent 5 hours talking about this thing that we're so into, but you have to at least give people the opportunity to find that thing.
That takes a lot of practice to get to a high level of a video game, right?
I don't know. I don't play.
It does. It takes a lot of time to become socially awkward. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work not to be socially awkward too. It takes you going out there and practicing. So yes, go outside, say hello to someone, stick to the eyebrows for a little while until you could, you build your confidence. You could try something else, but it takes the same work that it took for you to be a fucking video game genius, it's gonna take the same work to get
Right. You do have to get out the house. I will say that. You can't stay in the basement and play video games all the time and expect it. You have to get out the house. Yeah. Like New York makes it easy to never leave your house if you don't want to.
This weather decent as hell.
That's crazy because you would think that New York of all places, like I think to myself, man, listen, if I lived in Cleveland, I just have one thing to go to all year long. Right. You know, New York is a place where you should never be home.
No, there's so much to do, but it's so easy to never leave it. Like, you could order Seamless, and you could get your groceries delivered. Netflix. You could have your laundry picked up. Like, there's so many ways not to leave your house.
Tinder on demand.
You have to, like, fight that. Like, you have to be like, I could just order Seamless, but, like, let me go to the restaurant down the street, and, like, let me sit at the bar, and, like, let me compliment the person next to me, or let me start a conversation with the person next to me. So, like, it is work. Like, it is work meeting somebody and, like, cultivating those relationships. Like, it's not just like I swiped once, I met somebody, and then we got married. Like, it's work. It's work like anything else.
As a good person too, right? Like building a personality before you even go out there and date. You have to become somebody. Like being a fucking video game guy that sat in the basement for 3 years, 4 years. Like what,
shout out.
like having other interests, read a fucking book, like become someone like Joy would be interested in opening up to, right? That's a guy's responsibility. What do you think about that? Am I crazy?
Again, I'm not gonna put that all on the guy. I think it's everybody's responsibility to
the best relationships
to put themselves out
I've
there.
ever seen, witnessed, is when, and I told old girl this before, when a guy's hyper masculine and the woman's hyper feminine.
You going back old school.
Yeah.
That's just what I've seen.
You know what my mom always said, though, and it's always, like, stuck with me, and I don't necessarily know how I feel about it, but she always said you should marry a man that loves you more than you love him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She has said that my whole life. Yeah.
Right.
And so I've always kept that in the back of my mind. Like, if I ever had dated somebody where I was like, I feel like I like him more, this is not going to work.
Right.
So I get that on some level and, like, why that might work, but I also think that more and more men, particularly, are becoming more comfortable with the idea of a woman not being super feminine and him not having to be this, like, hyper masculine guy. Like, I think, like, gender roles are becoming a little bit more, flexible.
What about some people? I think it's a lot of shallowness in the game too. Like, what level do you feel like dating wise is shallowness a problem? Because I think a lot of people are now being socialized to, like, have these standards based on what they see on the internet, or what could they show off to their friends? Like, what percentage is that in the game now, you think?
Too much.
Mm-hmm. Instagram ruined
Too much. Yeah, it is.
And social media in general.
Yeah, like, I think we're starting to get a very false idea and perception of what people are supposed to be and what everyday life is supposed to be. And
what people actually are.
Yeah, what people actually are. Like, I have a thing where I always say, like, if I know I really like a guy, if I could just have fun doing normal activity with him, like, right?
Like a picnic.
No, not even. Not like grocery store.
Where'd you have a picnic here in New York, by the way?
In Central Park.
Okay.
Yeah. But just somebody you could do normal stuff with. So, like, not stuff that you would put on the gram necessarily, but just, like, am I having a good time just doing laundry with you? Am I having a good time just, like, cooking with you?
Can I go to the bathroom with the door open around you?
Oh, you want to hear something nasty?
No.
Is that nasty?
No, I'm saying, do you want to hear? Do you want to hear something nasty?
Come on,
tell me more. I'm gonna
Tell
tell y'all something really nasty. And this
man.
is how I knew. I was like, this is the one. No. So when I had been traveling for a couple months when I met my boyfriend. And when I came back home, we just didn't really spend any time apart. And I remember I was at his apartment and we had, like, woken up, and he went to the bathroom and he texted me and he said, hey, I was in the bedroom. He said, what are you doing? I said, just laying in the bed where you just left me. I can't even believe I'm sharing this.
Tell me.
He said, come in the bathroom and smell my shit. And I said, okay. So I went in the bathroom and I just sat on the tub and we just had a full-on conversation. And now we do that every day.
Yeah, nah.
I let my wife witness. I had a log the other day.
What?
And it was the most incredible uninterrupted law. And
You have to show somebody.
we've been together for a minute now, and I've never had one that
I
incredible.
never want to know.
Did you show her?
Did I show her? We marveled at it. We took pictures of it.
I love that.
We-
I love
we
that.
were
Yeah,
both.
hold on, wait.
Fucking go
Don't
to the
post that
bathroom. I
picture
won't
ever.
even know she's in the bathroom.
Let me tell you something.
Don't do. I know you post it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Wait, can I
may post it one day when I'm wilding, but we were both in fucking heaven.
See, I love that. I'm a no boundaries. Like if we're in it, like we're in it, and I'm no boundaries. Because who knows? One day I might be sick. You might need to clean that shit up.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, let's just it is what it is.
You're a human. You go to the bathroom, right? You're a human being. I know a woman uses the bathroom. I don't want to fucking know about it. I don't want to know about it. Like, just get up, go, do your business, and come back.
Oh, I make a whole event.
Yeah, I don't want to know. Like,
Say, I don't want it to do.
no, I don't want any.
I'm about to go blow
I want to
this.
suspend reality.
Well, see, that's the thing. No. I
Smell good all the
want.
time. Your hair's always fucking. I don't want to know about it.
I want to see traces. I want to see stool. I want to see
I see
a period,
traces. You
gotta-
blood. I want to see. I want to see all kind of functions going on.
I don't want to see Fury, but
Yeah.
But you have
Big House said no, nothing.
he might have did it to you though, because dudes are just silly.
Oh, I do the same thing,
No, I mean
though.
like when you're in the bed and then you just bust a fart, but you leave the covers over, like you wrap them up tight.
Dutch oven.
I haven't done a purposeful Dutch oven, but I certainly, like, I'm a human being and I'm not holding anything at that point. Like, I'm just, it is what it is.
You must leave the room.
Like, if we're
You're ready to get married, Tanisha. To be honest with you, you're ready to get married.
I think so.
Once we get past the point of bodily functions, I mean, there's nothing more human.
I was past it week 1.
Well, I mean, listen.
It happens every day. You gonna see it.
Listen. So Tanisha, before we let you go here tonight, thank you for coming in here, helping us out, helping Joy out. We're still working on Joy though.
Do you have one more thing? Can I just say?
Yes.
Do you have like a profile? Are you online, dating wise?
No.
Would you ever create
No.
one?
Can someone slide in your DM?
What if I created one for you?
No.
Why not?
Why? Why do y'all care so much?
Joy?
Would you be willing to be like set up on a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Joy is
That's
on
right.
a girl trip too. Her mind.
I gotta tell you something. Let's
We'll come back and tell you on
we gotta
secret. I
really
asked
work
him what
on
his
Joy.
favorite color was.
She
I
just had a
told him
birthday, and for her birthday, she had a nice little party. King, did you get invited to her birthday party?
So she clarified that.
Oh,
She said that it was a surprise thing.
oh, it's a surprise
I was
party.
about to feel away
Okay.
too.
Oh, GY, you didn't get
Oh,
invited?
no. Well, you know what? I
Miguel,
wasn't
were you-
expecting an
I was
invite.
not invited to.
Okay, all right.
See how social media ruins stuff? They wouldn't even known about your
Joy the
party.
Great don't fucks with us.
I thought it was something we did. I was like, gee, that's Dallas. man.
GY, you fucked it up. I'm sure you.
For
You
the
know
record,
what?
I would not have gone.
Yeah. Oh my God. I probably fucked it up, but I wanted to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's good. We got to hit up some in the spring. It's nice out here now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, can we tennis?
Play tennis.
Yeah, we can teach everybody in a Talkitecture to know how to play tennis, so we can kill.
Yo, I kind of think we got to do like some kind of dating exercise and like have it on camera or something.
For
the-
Joy?
For the internet, everybody the single ones in the room.
I want to see Miguel on a date.
I
bro.
want to.
It's the funnest
I
thing.
need
I'll
to
tell you
see
something.
Miguel on a
It's
date. Like,
always fun. I'm
Yes,
an
I'm
excellent
single.
dater.
Okay.
I'm a
But
fucking
I'm single
excellent
looking.
dater.
You know, so
You're an excellent
I'm not
dater.
single just out here. Like, it's different wrongs. I think when you're single. So it's like where A King is at. But also like if it's like worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to get hurt. And I think our generation, we're oftentimes so reclusive to we don't want to get hurt, but not knowing is like love.
Pain is joy, huh?
Pain, it is a cliche, but I definitely feel like
No,
it's levels.
pain is joy.
Pain is literally joy. Yes.
You can't feel one without the other.
Dallas,
You wouldn't have a concept of it.
He just keep bringing them out. But yeah, for sure. I mean, Jenkins and Jenkins, and we can partner with you, and we can just get us all right. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
She's the associate.
She's the associate.
Well, thank you, Tanisha. Thank you for coming through tonight. And
Thank you for having me.
Where can we listen to you? Because your advice is supreme.
I have a podcast. It's called DRL Podcast. It's Dating, Relationships, and Love. On there, I talk about my own relationship, the stuff I go through in there. I have guests on, just all things dating and love. Like real conversations. Like I'm into real conversations. I'm not into asking people what their favorite color is. You get that, right?
You let Dallas come on there and do a fart mixtape?
I don't really do fart mixtapes yet. I just do that personally at home. I don't really like put that out there. But yeah, drlpodcast.com or reach out to me directly at Tennesha Wood on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that.
All right.
So where do you find clients? Is it like word of mouth or?
Word of mouth generally is the biggest way I get them. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mouth game.
Congratulations. I don't need a dating coach. I'm good.
Are you dating?
No.
What's the deal there?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Excellent guy.
We've been so much on Joy, we didn't even.
Yeah, you know what? This episode is sponsored by Jenkins, and Jenkins.
Yes.
Make sure you give them a call if you need law.
Also, you got
living his life.
Hold on. You got something coming up May 3rd, right?
Oh, May 3rd at the Highline Ballroom.
Yeah.
All right, Rock Marciano.
Yep.
Mayhem Loren, DJ Muggs. All right, it's gonna be some hip hop.
Savage.
It's gonna be some hip hop. Make sure internet should come out.
And special guests probably, most likely.
I'm sure. It's gonna be a night of New York hip hop. So let's enjoy ourselves. May 3rd, Highline Ballroom. Please get your tickets now. Come out. Talk nice. Dress nice. Come out and have some fun. It's gonna be a great night at the Highline Ballroom. And this will also be sponsored by Jenkins and Jenkins. They'll help
that
evening
together. Will be sponsored by Jenkins and Jenkins.
Yes, Jenkins and Jenkins and Jenkins Associates. All right. If you need law. Internets. This is a podcast. It's called Talkitecture.
Yep.
All right. The world as we know it is coming to an end, but we here at Talkitecture are going to help you. We're going to talk your way through it, help you figure it out.
I'm bringing the choya if the world is ended.
More sweet wine.
Internets, los internetos, Talkitecture. The Talkitecture podcast is a presentation of the Loudspeakers Network, where we always say rest in peace to Combat Jack. Episodes are executive produced by A. King and Dallas Penn. All episodes are engineered superbly by Brother Christopher. 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 By Brother Christopher.